Welcome to our weird world, where each week we gather around the bonfire to uncover the world's most fascinating legends and mysteries. Tonight, we bring you the tale from the heart of Germany, a story as old as the town of Hamelin itself. It's a story of broken promises, dark vengeance, and a haunting melody that echoes through time. So sit back, relax, and let the flames of our virtual campfire guide you through the shadows of the unknown as we begin the tale of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. Our story begins in the picturesque town of Hamelin. Nestled along the banks of the Weiser River, the townspeople lived in prosperity and peace. Hamelin was a bustling place, with cobblestone streets, charming houses, and markets filled with the laughter and clamor of trade. But one year, everything changed. A shadow of misfortune descended upon Hamelin. It began with a few rats, scurrying through the streets at night. But soon their numbers grew. The rats were everywhere, gnawing at grain stores, contaminating food, and spreading disease. The town was overrun, and the people were desperate. The townsfolk, at wit's end, gathered in the town hall seeking a solution. They had tried poison, traps, and even hired rat catchers from far and wide, but nothing had worked. As hope was fading, a stranger appeared at the town gates. He was a curious figure, clad in a coat of many colors that shimmered in the sunlight. He introduced himself as a piper, claiming he had the power to rid the town of its rats through the enchantment of his music. Skeptical but desperate, the town council listened. The piper made a bold offer. He would eliminate the rats in exchange for a sum of 1,000 guilders. The council agreed, eager to be free of their torment. They promised to pay him as soon as the rats were gone. The next morning, the piper stood in the town square, lifting his flute to his lips and beginning to play. The music was hauntingly beautiful, a melody unlike anything the townspeople had ever heard. As the notes floated through the air, a strange thing began to happen. Rats emerged from every corner of the town, drawn irresistibly to the enchanting tune. The piper walked through the streets, and the rats all followed, forming a writhing, swarming mass behind him. The townspeople watched in awe and relief as the piper led the procession to the Weser River. Without hesitation, the rats plunged into the water and were swept away by the current, leaving the town completely rat-free. The townspeople rejoiced, celebrating their deliverance from the plague of rats. They sang songs, danced in the streets, and praised the piper for his miraculous deed. However, when the piper returned to claim his reward, his mood quickly soured. The town council, having seen the ease with which the piper rid them of the rats, decided to renegotiate payment. They offered him a paltry sum, far less than the agreed upon 1,000 guilders. The piper, betrayed and furious, warned them of the dire consequences if they did not honor their promise. But the council, greedy and ungrateful, dismissed his warnings and had mocked him. Enraged, the piper vowed revenge. He left the town square, but his parting words hung heavily in the air, a dark promise of what was to come. On June 26, 1284, as the town basked in the warmth of a warm summer day, the piper returned. This time, he played a different tune, a melody that was hauntingly beautiful, yet carried an undertone of sorrow and despair. The music drifted through the streets, reaching every home and echoing in every heart. The townspeople were drawn to their windows, mesmerized by the sound. Then, to their horror, they saw their children, 130 in total, emerging from their homes and gathering in the streets. The children, bewitched by the music, began to follow the piper as he led them away from the town. The parents screamed and pleaded, but their cries fell on deaf ears. The children were in a trance, their faces serene and their steps unwavering. The piper led the procession of children out of the town, past the fields and meadows, and towards the Koppelberg mountain. As they approached, a miraculous event occurred. The side of the mountain opened, revealing a dark, yawning cavern. The piper and the children marched straight into the cavern, and as the last child disappeared inside, the mountain closed behind them, leaving no trace. The townspeople were left in shock and despair. Their joy had turned to sorrow, their laughter to wailing. They searched for days, but the children were gone, vanished as if they had never existed. The once vibrant town of Hamelin was now filled with an eerie silence, haunted by the loss of its children and the guilt of broken promises. The weight of their betrayal hung heavily on the town. The townspeople erected a memorial to commemorate the tragedy, inscribing it with the words, "In the year of 1284, on the day of Saints John and Paul, 130 children born in Hamelin were led away by a piper clothed in many colors to their Calvary." The legend of the Pied Piper became a cautionary tale, a dark reminder of the consequences of greed and dishonesty. It was said that the piper's music could still be heard on quiet nights, a haunting melody that carried the sorrow of the lost children and the guilt of the townspeople. The story of the Pied Piper of Hamelin has been passed down through the generations, its meaning evolving with time. Some view it as a warning against the perils of breaking promises, while others see it as an allegory for the loss of innocence. The piper himself is a complex figure, both savior and avenger, hero and villain. In the centuries that followed, the tale inspired countless retellings in literature, art, and music. The Brothers Grimm included it in their collection of fairy tales, and Robert Browning immortalized it in his famous poem. Each retelling added new layers to the story, but the core themes of betrayal, loss, and vengeance remained. The legend of the Pied Piper is rooted in the historical and cultural context of medieval Europe. The 13th century was a time of great upheaval, with plagues, famine, and wars ravaging the continent. The rats in the story symbolize the uncontrollable forces that plagued human communities, while the piper himself represents a supernatural intervention, a common motif in medieval folklore. The children's disappearance has been interpreted in various ways as well, from a metaphor for the dangers facing youth to a reflection of historical events, such as the Children's Crusade. The story's dark themes resonate with the fears and uncertainties of the medieval world, making it a powerful and enduring myth. In modern times, the Pied Piper's tale continues to captivate audiences. It has been adapted into films, plays, and books, each bringing their own interpretation to the tale. Some versions emphasize the piper's role as a hero who saves the town from a dire plague, while others highlight his dark and vengeful side. The story also serves as an allegory for contemporary issues. Themes of broken promises, the consequences of greed and ingratitude, and the loss of innocence are as relevant today as they were in medieval times. The Pied Piper's tale reminds us of the importance of integrity, the perils of deceit, and the enduring impact of our actions on future generations. The legend of the Pied Piper of Hamelin is a timeless tale that continues to intrigue and haunt. It is a story that blends history, folklore, and moral lessons, leaving a lasting impression on all who hear it. Whether viewed as a cautionary tale or a haunting myth, the Pied Piper's story serves as a powerful reminder of the complexities of human nature and the enduring power of storytelling. In the picturesque town of Hamelin, where the story originated, the memory of the Pied Piper lives on. The town embraces its folklore with pride, commemorating the legend through festivals, monuments, and historical reenactments. Visitors to Hamelin can walk the same cobblestone streets where the Pied Piper once played his enchanting tune, feeling the echoes of a story that has transcended time and place. And so, the tale of the Pied Piper of Hamelin endures, a dark fairy tale that speaks to the human condition, reminding us of the fragility of trust and the consequence of our choices. It is a story that will be told and retold as long as there are those who listen and those who remember. As we leave you here, remember, the legends of our weird world are boundless. If you've enjoyed immersing yourself in the dark side of folklore with us, please share, like, and subscribe to our channel for more content. Your support enables us to uncover the hidden tales that dwell in the shadows. Until next time, stay curious and beware the haunting melodies in the wind.